Hello St. Anne Parish, and welcome to this week's Quick Things video, which is coming to a bit earlier in the week because we want to help you begin to anticipate right off the bat as we go into this week how it will be if you choose to return to join us for Mass this coming weekend. We'll celebrate Mass at 4 p.m. Saturday, 8:30 and 10:30 a.m. on Sunday. We will not celebrate the 6 p.m. Mass. More explanation on all of what I'm going to talk about is in this newsletter, which parishioners will be receiving in the mail probably on Wednesday, if not Wednesday, Thursday. Please do not come and join us for Mass unless you have reviewed this material. The walkthrough here now will help, but this gives you the complete information background that you'll need to come to join us for Mass. Just a couple things to be aware of before we go into church. This will be the entrance we use, our main entranceway. So park in the west parking lot if you're able. There are handicapped spots here, although we think many of the people who maybe usually use those spots might choose not to join us because, again, remember, the obligation to attend Mass is waived indefinitely. Also, strong encouragement from state and federal health officials, as well as Bishop Callahan and myself, that people who are of a certain age, 65 or older, who have health issues, really probably should choose not to join us. Coming to Mass in these times is not a proclamation of faith. It is not going to say, well, I believe in Jesus more because I'm going to Mass. We need to honor the procedures that have been put in place, the precautions. We want you to be safe, and we want the people who gather here to be safe as well. We also remember, I think this is an important consideration. Concerts, ball games, theaters, everything else that involves people gathering together has been canceled. This is an extraordinary opportunity that we have, but I think we want to be careful then in terms of whether we participate and then how we do that. So this is the entranceway we will gather. The other doors will be closed. We need to count the people who come in, and we need to be attentive to the procedures that are followed as they gather. And as you'll see, there are things that involve many people. We would not be able to staff all the entranceways to do this properly. So this is where you park. This is where you'll come in. There was another thought I had, but it escapes me. So first of all, also, if you can bring your own hand sanitizer, that would be great. Small containers if you have them. And also if you can bring your own mask, that would be helpful as well. As you'll see, we'll have them for you. But if you can remember to wear your mask from the beginning as you get out of your car, that would be great. The doors will open 30 minutes before Mass. If you get here before then, stay in your car. When you see the doors open, they will be open, so we're not handling door handles and things. When the doors are open, you're welcome to gather, maintaining the 6 feet distance, and there will be blue markers on the sidewalk here to help you know where those markers are. So let's go on into church. Again, these doors will be open as we gather on Saturday afternoon and Sunday morning. Rice bowls are being gathered here. If you have your Lenten rice bowl, now's the time to bring it. You can bring that anytime, not just if you're coming to Mass on Sunday. And then there will be various hand sanitizer stations. Here's one if you don't have your own. There will be a welcome minister with a mask and gloves who will hand out worship aids. These will be one-time use things. You will not return it to this pile because we don't want it handled by multiple people. So someone will hand it to you, a minister wearing a mask and gloves. They will continue into the gathering space. If you come in that door, you're going to go that way. If you come in this door, you're going to go this way. If you don't have a mask, someone will be here to provide the mask. They won't they'll be wearing gloves and they'll hand you a mask, or you can take it from the basket. But again, we want to be careful that we're not touching multiple things. That's one of the precautions. There's also hand sanitizer at this station. Again, if you're on that aisle, you go up that way or you'll come up this way. There will be baskets. There will be baskets at the different entranceways to put your collection, so the collection will not be gathered. You can put it here in a basket here or on the other side as you arrive or as you leave Mass. Okay? Here, a minister of welcome will greet you and then take you to your seat. Because one that I just remembered what I forgot to mention earlier, you will need to reserve a spot for you, your husband, wife, your family when you come to Mass. There will be guidelines on our website as to how to do that, the process to guide you through reserving that spot. So once you've arrived, then we'll have some idea of where you might be seated based upon your reservation. A minister of welcome will meet you here. If you're on that side, the north side of the baptismal font, you will go across the front of the altar area. If you're on this side, the south side of the baptismal font, you'll walk with me this way. And we will fill the church from east to west. So we're not going to fill these chairs first, because then people would be walking by those people, and we want to maintain distance as much as possible, encounters with other people as much as possible. So those, you'll be guided into the church. A minister of welcome will guide you into a pew. Again, we need to do that so that we can allow for sufficient distance. Also recognizing that some of the pews will be closed, again, to allow for that distance. We'll fill the church from east to west. Limited number of people, so we hope that we'll have sufficient space. We'll get a better handle of that when we come to celebrate Mass this weekend. You'll notice the tape that's marking off pews. You may notice the hymnals are missing. So various precautions that we need to take so that we are not touching multiple things, that one person's germs are not being passed on to another. This all may seem a bit overdone, but these are the precautions that we've been given, and we're going to follow them. So that gets us into Mass. We'll have our worship aid. Hopefully our worship will be fairly familiar to what we're used to, although recognizing, again, we'll be 6 feet apart from a family unit can sit together, but then 6 feet from the next couple or individual who might be worshiping near them. As I said, the collection will not be gathered. Again, we can't be passing collection baskets and things like that, so there'll be baskets for us to put the collection in. We come to communion, and that's the other tricky time, again, because we need to remain 6 feet apart. Why don't you join me here? I'm here with John Schmidt, our co-director of Disciple Formation, who's also our executive producer of St. Anne Liturgical Productions. So John's helping make this happen today. The communion stations will be somewhat similar to the regular Sunday, but we will have fewer ministers just because we need to be sure that we're doing this according to the procedures. So I will begin communion here in the center, and people will come as they normally would, except that we need to remain 6 feet apart. And there are markings on the floor to indicate those 6 foot. Maybe just come over here, John, and you can see markings to indicate where those 6 foot markers would be. Then I would move to this section over here. Another minister will take communion to this section of the church and then to the mezzanine. Again, coming forward, honoring those 6 feet restrictions. We will not be able to offer the precious blood for the foreseeable future, and we ask that people receive communion in the hand. Another provision of our worship in this time will be that we'll remain standing during the Eucharistic prayer. That prevents us from having to clean the kneelers, since we won't be touching them to put them up or down. And it also provides unity in that some of our seating does not have kneelers, so we'll all be united in praying together in that posture of standing for the Eucharistic prayer. Then, when we come to the end of Mass, we will utilize the east and south entrances, because unlike in the beginning where we need to monitor people as they arrive and count, etc., and make sure people are seated appropriately, we want to leave as efficiently as possible, because after every Mass, groups of volunteers will come in and sanitize the pews and the door handles and railings and things like that. So we want people to leave as efficiently as possible, but also honoring the protocols, the 6 foot distancing, not gathering in groups, not remaining in church to visit. I hate to say this, but we're just not able to do that at this time. As I said at the end of Mass last Sunday, this is not anything we would make up in a million years. But these are the guidelines we've been given, and we want to honor them. We want to honor them appropriately. So that brings us to the end of Mass, our departure, maintain distance, no visiting. And then we go and we hopefully begin the cycle again next week with reservations arriving. How long will this go on? We don't know, but I would suspect through the summer at least. But as soon as we can move on to other less rigorous procedures, we'll be willing to do that. But we also, in this time, want to do what is necessary and appropriate. So if you have any questions, you can give me a call, but first check the newsletter. I think that will answer a lot of your questions as to what and how. And if you choose to join us for Mass, you can, there will be a link with this email that can help you, guide you to that on our website. Since you're on the internet, do it that way. People without internet access can call, but doing it on the internet will be much more efficient. And there was another thing I just thought of, which has escaped my mind, but there'll be notes with this email that will kind of fill in those blanks, I guess. Hopefully I haven't seemed too scattered. I hope this was helpful. I guess just the other thing. Again, please remember that coming to Mass is not a testimony of our faith. We want to be careful, we want to be cautious. So staying home and participating in Mass at home on our live stream is what you need to do. If that's the decision you, your family, whoever makes. But if you join us for Mass, we trust that you will abide by the precautions and the guidelines that we've established. So, hope to see you here, or I hope to see you online, where we will continue to provide our online celebrations of Mass. So, with that in mind, we continue to proclaim Christ is risen. He is risen indeed.